trunk extensor and flexibility are related to a healthy lower back and vertebral alignment. The objective of the trunk lift is to lift the upper body a maximum of 12 inches off the floor using the muscles of the back and holding the position to allow for the measurement. Students should not be allowed to lift themselves up beyond 12 inches. Instructions. In the trunk lift assessment, students lie prone, face down. The student's hands are tucked under his or her thighs. The student looks at a marker that is placed directly below his or her eyes. The student lifts the upper body off the floor in a slow, controlled movement to a maximum height of 12 inches while focusing on the object in front of them to prevent hyperextension of the neck. Do not lift the chin. The head stays in alignment with the nose pointing down toward the mat. Scoring. 2 trials are attempted recording the higher score of the 2. The maximum score that can be entered in the computer is 12 inches. Suggestions and corrections. Rulers can be made out of sturdy paper products or rope. Mark 6 to 12 inches on the ruler. Rulers greater than 12 inches are suggested to alleviate the chance of injury. Measurement should be taken from the floor to the chin. Never place a ruler under a student's chin. Place the ruler at least 1 inch away from the chin. Performance errors are made when feet are lifted off the floor, the neck is hyperextended, or students do not keep their hands under their thighs. Do not allow students to bounce. Movement should be slow and controlled. Upper body strength and endurance. This assessment measures the strength and endurance of the upper body and is related to maintenance of correct posture. It is important to have strong muscles that can work forcefully over a period of time. The objective of this assessment is to complete as many 90-degree push-ups as possible to the cadence on the CD. Students complete 1 push-up every 3 seconds. Instructions. Hands are placed flat on the floor, under the shoulders, or slightly wider than shoulder width apart. The neck, shoulders, back, and legs are in a straight, slanted line with toes tucked under. Students start in the up position. The body is lowered until the elbows are at a 90-degree angle and upper arms are parallel to the floor. The body lifts up until the arms are fully extended. Students lift and lower their body to the cadence on the CD, completing 1 push-up every 3 seconds. Scoring. Students are stopped when they cannot complete any more push-ups correctly or when the second form correction is made. The student is told by the helper and signaled with a raised finger when the first performance error is made. Examples of performance errors are incorrect body position, stopping to rest, failure to maintain cadence with the CD, not extending arms fully, arms less than a 90-degree angle, or body contact with the floor. The score is the number of 90-degree angle push-ups performed. Suggestions and corrections. The assessment should be stopped if a student is in pain. Students should be familiar with the cadence through practice using the CD. Use the same protocol for males and females. Modified push-ups are not allowed. The first incorrect push-up is counted as a performance error. On the second performance error, the assessment is finished. Flexibility. This assessment measures joint flexibility, which is important to functional health. The objective is to assess the flexibility of the lower back and posterior thighs. The student should be able to reach a specified distance while sitting at a sit and reach box. Both the right and left side of the body are measured. Instructions. A sturdy box 12 inches high and a yardstick or ruler can be used for this assessment. Homemade boxes can be made from a copy paper carton, a ruler, and tape. The lid of the box is turned upside down and placed on the bottom. The box is then turned on its side and placed inside the lid, creating a 12-inch height. Reinforce the box with tape. The ruler is taped to the top of the box at the 9-inch mark, with the 0 mark closest to the student. A small milk crate and yardstick can also be used. The student sits with both feet against the box with shoes removed. Then, one leg is bent with the heel of the foot flat on the ground about 5 inches from the knee of the straight leg. A fist can be used for distance. Both arms stretch out above the head with one hand on top of the other. Students reach with their arms forward down toward the ruler. The arm is allowed to reach inside of the knee. With palms down and hands together, reach forward as far as possible 4 times. The 4th stretch is held for 1 second and scored. Reach slowly. Complete the assessment for the other side. Scoring. The number of inches on each side to the half-inch reached is recorded. 12 inches is the maximum distance that a student should score. The left side is assessed first, and the assessment is repeated on the right side. The bent knee is allowed to move away from the body as long as the sole of the foot remains in contact with the floor. Add an inch to the score if a student does not take off his or her shoes. Suggestions and corrections. Keep the back straight and head up during the forward flexion movement. Hips should be square to the box. Examples of performance errors are when hands do not reach forward evenly, legs are not in the correct position, or the knee bends. The trial should be repeated if a performance error is made. Body Mass Index. This assessment provides an indication of a student's weight relative to his or her height. Instructions. Weight should be measured in a private environment. Have students remove their shoes when measuring height and weight. The students step onto the scale and the teacher records the weight. When measuring height and weight, use the last whole number. If a student does not take off his or her shoes, subtract 2 pounds from the weight and 1 inch from the height. Enter student data in pounds, feet, and inches, and the New York City Fitness Gram web application will calculate BMI for you. Recommended BMI scores are listed in the New York City Fitness Gram manual. Healthy Fitness Zone. The New York City Fitness Gram prints out an individualized report that evaluates a child's personal level of fitness compared with the established health standard. Children can bring these reports home to parents. The concept of a healthy fitness zone helps children and parents know how much fitness is needed for good health. Teachers can provide information and strategies for increasing physical activity levels to improve overall health.